David the Bard. I'm coming to you from the BYU field house. When I was here in '72, we did a lot of activities over here. Some of them can't be reported, but anyway. I wanted to make some enemies, and I'm sure this video is going to do that. And that's okay, because I thrive on enemies. Please be my enemy. Kind of like, Mr. Rogers, please be my friend. The bar goes, hey, please be my enemy. Anyway, here's what I'm going to say. And I know that 70% of my audience is male, 30% is female, and 50% are LBJTBB Obama, people of all sexual orientations. There's some there that you haven't heard of yet. Anyway, I want to give you my opinion on sports. Okay, now I've had this opinion ever since I've been a child. This is not developed over time. I wasn't insulted. I didn't get excommunicated from the sports world. I think sports are silly. Now, are there any good things about sports? Of course there are. It keeps kids out of trouble. It gives black people a chance to make good money, music and sports. Sports also teaches some life skills. Again, beating up your wife in an elevator. Hey, that can be a sport in and of itself. Running and being shot in the back, rather than just stopping and the police, put your hands up. Don't do one of these. Sports can be a good thing. There's a lot of people who paint themselves green and orange, and the colors of the teams, and they think they're part of the sports event. I went to one sports event. I went to see the LA Dodgers with my dad in LA once. I got hit in the head with popcorn and Coke and beer cans more than I wanted to be. And then I said to myself, if I was home watching this on TV, I could see right up close everything that's going on. Why do I want to sit in a stadium? It's 120 degrees, or, in Foxborough, Massachusetts, with the Patriots, 30 below, and I'm sitting there and it's raining in my face and snow. What the hell common sense is that? So some of the places now, they build stadiums with a big window. Okay, can I just raise my hand, hey, I'm a little chilly, could you close the window? Or is that a polar bear decision? Anyway, here's what goes through my mind, and I'm sorry, I'm bipolar, and I don't accept the world's thinking on some of this stuff. Now, have you ever watched golf on TV? Well, neither have I. No one watches golf on TV. And I know I'm going to get hit with a golf club and people say, see, there is a Jesus. You got the Bard on the golf statement. I've played miniature golf with my kids, and, I don't take rules very seriously. I don't know if you can determine that or not. The rules of your country and your government and your world citizens, I don't take too serious. And when I drive a miniature golf ball over the fences into the parking lots and watch them hit the cars, God, I think that's bitching. And my kids will say, Dad, it's the little hole up there. Hell, I can't put the ball in the hole. I'm just going to launch it over the fence. So we've been places where there's like windmills and giant dragons with, if you put the ball in his mouth, the flames come out. I don't hit the damn ball. I go up to the dragon, throw the ball in his mouth. They go, Dad, that's so cool. I said, I know. Dad, here's the scorecard. I said, throw it away. I don't care. Now, you can see I don't take too many things serious. I love go-karts. I've ridden a lot of go-karts with my kids, and I rode go-karts, but that's not a sport. Yeah, maybe it is in some places. Anyway, here's what I'm saying. I used to go by Pebble Beach all the time on Highway 101 in California growing up and otherwise, and it has a beautiful golf course there. and it's right on the beach, right on the ocean, and some of the times of hitting the ball, you better be accurate, or you got to go out with the sharks to go find your ball. So anyway, I went to Hawaii once. they banned me. I'm on the no-fly list of Hawaii now. I was there with an insurance company because I was their top agent, and they were honoring me. And it was a trip for other agents too. And a couple of the agents said to me, "Well, do you want to go play a round of golf?" I said, "Hell no. I don't want to walk in the hot sun, hit the little ball away from me. Most sports, I'd rather have the ball coming towards me." So they said, "Well, what do you want to do?" And I said, "Hell, let's rent some of the carts, golf carts." That was bitchin'. We got in those golf carts. Now, this might be my donut delivery. No, that's my wife coming. So we got in those golf carts. God, we drove them across the ponds. We drove them into the sand traps. And if one got stuck, we all got out and pushed it out of the sand trap. And we did like bumper cars. One turned over. We couldn't get it back up. They're heavy little things. And so the head of the golf course came out and asked us never to fly to Hawaii again. So we're out of there, led by the Bard. So that was my experience with golf. Now, I've driven the golf carts a couple of times with my girls to help them learn how to drive, and that's worked pretty well. Except when the carts are all parked, and they're taking a shot, and we're coming up behind them, and we just shoot over the trees, over the deer. I just go around all the cars, go to the next hole, and now they're following us. So there's rules over there, but I don't know what they are, and you know what? I don't really care. So that was my experience with golf. Now, I had a little experience with football. I went out for football. I think I was probably 9th, maybe 10th or 11th grade. And I thought the girls kind of liked that. You had big old shoulder pads and a mask on so they couldn't tell if you were black or white. That was good for the black guys. Anyway, I went to practice, and boy, it was hot. Ojai, California in the summer. You're talking 115, 118, several days. And, if you were a man, you never got a water. I was drinking water all the time. I'm dying. So anyway, I wasn't great at football, but I was a safety, and I've never been a safety for anybody. I'm always a danger, but I was chosen as a safety because I could run fast. I could do a 50-yard dash in a 6 flat, and I held the record at the school, 89 sit-ups in 90 seconds. So anyway, I played and I practiced hard, and I tried to be one of the boys. Here comes Mercy. She's going to say something. Maybe she's going to check the toilet seat she put on. Anyway, I didn't like slamming into everybody. And you know what I didn't like more? Is when the coach would say, kill them, break their legs, break their arms, tear their testicles off. I go, that doesn't sound like a sport to me. That sounds like a war. So anyway, my personality didn't really fit the testicle pulling. Now, if he said, okay, grab the vagina and say, I'm in, I'm quarterback. Hike me that ball. So anyway, I went to a game or two, and sitting on the bench wasn't that bad. I mean, they didn't run me over and break my neck and give me concussions. And I looked up into the audience, into the bleachers, and all of my friends, their parents were there. Yay for Bobby. He's on the bench with me, and they're going, yay for Bobby. And I go, Bobby, why are they? I don't know, they're just yay for Bobby. Where are your parents? I said, hell, I don't know. Well, my parents never showed up. And that was typical of my parents. And I quit. Well, maybe some of you can relate to that. I don't know. I just quit. I said, well, I don't like it. My parents don't like it. Screw it. I quit. So then I did a little bit of track, and like I said, I could do a 50-yard dash in 6 flat and 100. I don't remember, 9 seconds or something. I was a pretty fast runner. I could have been a 7-Eleven robber if I wanted, but it didn't fit my personality. So that was my football. Well, then I was in the Mormon church. God forgive me. Even if I'm an atheist, all the gods forgive me. And in the young men's program, they had this, they had the baseball games and they had the basketball games. Well, I tried to participate. It is hard for the bard to do shit that is not true. I can't smile if I'm not happy. See? I'm not happy. Anyway, they tried to put me on the basketball team. Well, when you're 2'3", you don't get too many shots. People pound you on the head, and I go, wait a minute, this isn't fun. Lower the basket. It'd be a better game. Lower the damn basket. If you're really, really tall, you have an advantage in this game. Could be a lot of athletic people if you just lower the basket. Well, that idea didn't go anywhere. But okay, put me on the softball. Well, you want hardball? I said, no, I play hardball, but not out on the field. I want the softball. Okay. So all the guys, all the young men's presidents and all the deacons and teachers and priests, on Saturday we had a tournament. And we'd go out and we would play softball. Well, I wasn't very good at that either. So one day I got a hit. And the coach apologized. He said he wouldn't hit me anymore. I said, okay. So one day I got on base because they threw the ball over the guy, and I stole down onto a base there. I was still a batter, but I just threw the bat and ran to first. I didn't know you had to hit the ball. But anyway, the first baseman was the stake president's son. And when I got there, I didn't know he was the stake president's son. I just thought he was an ordinary kid. And, if you're a kid of a bishop or a stake president, there's nothing ordinary about you. So I got back on base, and I started to crowd off base to run to the second base for the next pitch. He says, what are you doing? I said, fuck you. I'm playing baseball. He said, well, you're not allowed to talk like that. I said, shut your ass. I can play any way that I want. Well, I didn't know he was the stake president's son. So that Sunday, the bishop called me in. He goes, we need to have a talk. Well, I know when the bishop had to talk to the bard, it was sex or language. It was one or the other. This one was language. So anyway, I quit baseball. So then when I was at BYU, I liked car racing. I had a Z28, 69 Z28 with a 302, 300 horsepower, and a stock 4-speed Hertz transmission. And hell, I could beat the shit out of Mustangs and Mach 1s and mock me and mock God. Well, God will not be mocked, but anyway, we raced out in the parking lots out there, and I put my little Michelle in the passenger seat with me. Young fathers are stupid asses. They really are. She liked to race, and so I think I won one trophy, and I would spin out a lot because that Z28, you punch it in any kind of a curve, it's going to go round and round. They didn't have computers and traction controls and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I got kids, and I couldn't afford those cars anymore, so my sport of car racing went down the tubes. Now, here's what I'm saying. If you pay a man $4 million or $12 million or $30 million to do something with his balls, I think that's too much money. I'll do stuff with my balls for free. When you pay a golfer to hit a ball away from him and then chase it, not only is it stupid, but maybe he should get a damn job. And when he gets in a little golf cart and people say, well, it's exercise, you're out in the fresh air. Well, I don't think so. Same way with baseball. I played baseball. I was the fielder. And they never hit the ball. Well, sometimes they hit it to left field, but I just let it go. I didn't want to chase that son of a bitch. Let someone else get it. I wasn't on that team very long either. So when you pay a baseball guy $20 million or a football guy or a golfing guy, and then tennis, we never watched tennis when I was a kid. Soccer didn't even exist. We didn't have any soccer or any soccer fields. So to pay all of these I guess they're athletic people, all this extra money because they have faster and stronger bodies. Is kind of like paying a model because she's, more beautiful than the other girls, and they all get old, they all quit, and they all beat their wives up in elevators. They're all on drugs. They're getting kicked off the teams. They're a bad example. You can get your face. Wasn't it Bruce Jenner? I just read on him being a female. His penis doesn't think so, but his brain does. And he was on the Wheaties box, this athletic man of the year in the Olympics there. And God, what? It's Monson every damn time. It's Monson. Let me tell Monson I'm busy. Hello. I'm on the show here, Brother Monson. Why don't you run down to the bathroom? What? What? Yeah, call sister on her cell phone. No, I'll call her by the messenger. Abigail, Allison wants you to call her. So anyway, it's way too much money. It's stupid. I do enjoy watching a motocross. I rode bicycles. Yeah, I rode bicycles, and I also rode motorcycles a little bit. And I love being off-road on a motorcycle. That's mission. That's fun. Usually you just break an arm or a leg. That's not a really serious sport. I love boats. I'll race a boat. And I love the water ski. That was a good sport for me. And I was pretty good at water skiing. Roller skating was bitching because I was good. And dancing, I was good. So the girls would all come around. But when the song was over, they'd leave. They'd leave. So I've had some experience with sports. I was riding with Allison yesterday. I was at work and she was working with me. I pay her $7 a shot when she goes to pick up specimens with me. And I drove by all the Mormon soccer kids, millions, out on the soccer field kicking a soccer ball at each other. And I looked at Allison and I looked at those kids and I said, you know what? My little girl is learning work ethic. She bought her own cell phone. Parents didn't buy it. She buys her own line. She buys her own cover. She knows when to shut up at work. I've fired her 2 or 3 times, and I've taken money away from her 2 or 3 times, and told her, you kiss the boss's ass, or you ain't going to work. Well, she did soccer last year, and she did well at it. I went with an umbrella, rain and dust and snow, and I watched it, and it was boring, but, I didn't want to be like my parents. I wanted to be there. Her mother said, screw it, I ain't going anywhere. So here's what I'm saying. Maybe sports has a place in society, and the losers that paint themselves green and blue and put number 15 and they hold signs up, screw everybody, and, I don't know, they pay $65 or $150 for a seat, and they think they're part of the team. Well, the team practices, the team sweats, they're in the mud, the blood, and the beer, and this asshole comes off his computer desk, paints himself green, puts a 15 on him, puts a little hat on him, and a sign that says, I'm with you. He's not with them. They're embarrassed to have him up there. So I don't see much about sports. They pay too much. Boxing is the worst. To see 2 men get into a ring and punch each other until one is senseless. That is the most barbarian sport. Now, the wrestling, it's fake. It's been fake since I was 15. And it's silly. Female wrestling, I don't know. I watch a little bit of that, not for the sport, if you know what I mean. I like gymnastics, especially female gymnastics. And you know what? I like ice skating, the ice skating Olympic competition, and I like ski jumping. Now I'm telling a story that I told once before, which I promised I would never do. But I skied once. And they asked me not to come back. You're not supposed to be over 90 miles an hour going down the hill. No one ever told me how to brake skis. I didn't. They say, snowplow. And I said, oh, look behind me. I got a tail, look like a jet engine back there, and I'm going around people and trees. And they said, how are you going to stop? And I said, well, I hadn't thought of that. He says, snowplow, snowplow. So I crossed the skis and went head over heels, I don't know, a mile, 2 miles, into the fire pit, and tangled up a bunch of people, and they said, you know what, you're out of here. And I said, you're right. This is not a sport for me. I don't like this sport. I do like horseback riding, until the damn horse ran to the barn and ducked. My head hits the top of the barn and I go off the horse. So these sports have dangerous things. I used to pitch softball, and I broke my arm. Well, that isn't good. And then I tried to scuba dive, and you know what? I can't breathe underwater. I don't know how the rest of you do it, but when I breathe underwater, I don't care what's all over me. I can't breathe water. So, there is my critique of sports. Now, you may be a parent that, my God, you take your kid to soccer practice 7 days a week, 24/7, and you sit in a tent with a heater in it and a spotlight shining on your kid, and your minivan holds 27 Mormons. It holds another 52 up on top, and you're screaming, the Pele Ale, and my son ain't worth shit, but I'm watching him. Hey, if that turns you on and it turns your kid on, great. It doesn't me, and it doesn't turn my kids on. I teach my kids to work. I teach my kids to be good citizens, to pay their taxes. If they become scoutmasters, don't give blowjobs to the little boys. If they become a teacher, like our teacher here in Utah, don't screw 3 little boys, and she's going to prison now. The weenie out of the pants, lying, cheating, stealing, scamming, trying to convert all of your friends when you don't believe it yourself, going to a foreign country and taking advantage of peso-paying people. And, I don't want my kids to be those kinds of citizens. I don't want a Ponzi scheme. That's not a business scheme. My girls can wear dresses. They can wear suits. I've got one lesbian girl. She wears whatever she wants. I don't give a shit. How's that bother me? How's that bother me? So anyway, I want my children to be good citizens of the United States of America. And all the money that the rest of you spend, I've spent some. I've had both my girls. One was in karate. Two of them were in ballet. One was in soccer. And one was in basketball. And both in piano. Wasted all that money. Not again. Not again. So anyway, you can go with the pay, the lay, and nail me 3 times. Oh God, hear the words of my mouth. You can slit my throat. You can cut my heart out. You can cut out my gut. But I ain't putting my kids out there and all that soccer crap. And the name of the first, or the name of the second token of the Melchizedek priesthood, the patriarchal whip, or sure sign of the nail, is health and the navel, marrow in the bones, strength and loins and sinews, power and priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity, through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. This bar's gone.